Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read for July and August 2021. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Protection since 1998, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. But you could just call me Mal. Hi, my beloved earth signs, Virgo that I am. We are the hardest working, huh? The Taurians, the Virgos, the Capricorns. It's just what we came in to do, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So let's get up in this gig. We are doing a 12-card spread. I do these for clients all the time and have for decades about, life purpose through the 3 levels of power of work, career, and vocation. 3 levels of power I learned from Myss. We're going to be starting off using her archetype cards. There is a link in the description box to, I think, part 1 of part 3 of one of her lectures on YouTube if you want to go deeper into that. Otherwise, whatever pops out of my mouth to explain it as we go is how we will go. You can certainly check out the June-July reads that I did because they overlap, right? So that's why I do them in 2-month chunks, because work, career, vocation can take some time to evolve, especially what we've been through. But essentially, this is about bringing together your spiritual calling, your interior passion, hunger, and thirst, along with how you survive in the world. That's really about it, except to say it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, blah, blah, blah. You know all that, particularly if you're on my channel, you're mature enough to know the rules of YouTube readings, at least. And if you want a private reading, as I said, I do these for clients a lot. You can find me on Facebook, Angelo Lyons in Holbrook, New York. You can find me on Twitter at ProfWitch, PROFWITCH, or on Instagram, Angelo Lyons. Slide into my DMs. We will set something up on Zoom or Facebook Messenger, whatever works. Even got Skype still. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. And my book, Words of Grace, is available on Kindle, $9.99, which is absolutely a fusion of my work, my career, in vocation, taking something from the 8th chakra all the way down into physical form, officially making me an author, which I've been writing my whole life and reading my whole life. But you get what I'm saying. Cool. I guess that's about it, except to say both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that you need for your work, career, vocation. Breathe. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, please give us the archetypal power being alchemized from lead to gold, the 8th chakra dynamic for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs drawn to, watching to, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, July and August 2021, in their work, their literal world, survival, intuition, for their personal level of power, the mental, emotional world, the psychological world behind their eyes, in their career, right, their passion, their hunger, their thirst, and in their vocation, their spiritual calling, really their mystical power. Spiritual powers in heart, third eye crown. We're talking about the satellite POV point of view here for their spiritual calling, right? What calls them forth, there we go. Now, you already know what these are. They are in the title, so I'm just going to say congratulations. Let's see how brave you are. And I would say relatively brave if you clicked on this one for sure. Yeah, the Addict, the Saboteur, and the Advocate. Now, look, all archetypes are neutral, so as lovely as they sound is as toxic as they are in their shadow, and vice versa, right? The Addict and the Saboteur do not sound like fun, but certainly the light attributes, it's all about empowerment. So let me read you what's on here in your work, right? Lower 3 chakra dynamic, right? How you navigate through the world, physical power, literal level of power in the 8th chakra of that highest point of view. I got the Addict archetype, the shadow. It's a wild card family archetype, by the way. The shadow attribute compromises integrity and honesty. allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. Now remember, addictions, everybody's got them. Reason, season, or lifetime. I know people who have addiction issues for a lifetime. Mine are really, they kind of come and go. I mean, I might still have a cigarette here and there, but I do it in prayer. So, you know, I keep an eye on my addictions, and certainly that's the light attribute here. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. So if in the workforce you are dealing with addicts, but it's not all about sex and drugs and rock and roll. Although I lived through the 80s, darling, so I'm familiar. But it can be addiction to money, addiction to power, addiction to attention, approval, maybe not your own, right? That might be what you, the soul lesson that you are learning on this in your work. And certainly, who doesn't have their addictions? Look, I was raised by teachers and lawyers. So when they were actually proven wrong on something, they went into withdrawal because they're addicted to being right. Now, they're older now. I love my parents. Zeus and Hera, I'm driving up to see them for my mom's birthday. And, you know, they outgrew it, right? It's like, we're all here to heal this sort of stuff. But there is definitely, I'm going to say, a physical level addiction, something on the outside, although, you know, that what the Course in Miracles calls false idols, things that you think are your salvation, and they're not. So moving here into your career, now the Saboteur sounds horrible, but it's the survival family, archetype family. So everybody has the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute. And granted, those don't sound great. So, you know, the child, kind of neutral. The victim, Victor, as in victory archetype. The saboteur, I could not find, through Carolyn Myss's work, the light side of that more positively described. So I call it the empowerer, which is a little but the empowerer instead of the saboteur, someone who would sabotage somebody, someone who would empower someone, including themselves, right? And the prostitute, I call the light side, the hooker with the heart of gold, who will not compromise her spirit, right? So the saboteur induces self-destructive behavior out of this desire to undermine others, right? It's like, yeah, there's a part of the ego, absolutely a part of the ego, that doesn't want to see anybody else cross the finish line before you do. That's instinctual, right? But here it's heart, third eye crown in your career. So be careful of sabotorial things, particularly, they're giving me here throat chakra, what you say, right, about somebody, right? Even if it's accurate. Is it sabotorial? But the light attribute you're shooting for here highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. In other words, if, again, throat chakra, instead of like perhaps being sabotorial verbally, right? This could very much be about saying, okay, I get that I am sabotaging my path forward because at the speed at which my life would change. Now, I understand that, but this is in your career. This is your passion, your hunger, your thirst, right? Your creativity, heart, throat, third eye crown. I mean, the next set of cards are going to be looking at heart, throat, third eye crown, and all three of these. For fear of the changes it would bring to your life, like perhaps if you spoke the truth on something, at least to yourself, right? And really saw how, well, okay, all right, I get the image. Like the saboteur archetype is about life-changing decisions of empowerment or disempowerment, and they always show me Wile E. Coyote, super genius, right? Because the mind alone is not going to do that to make the most loving, wise, empowered decision. That's in my book, Words of Grace, just saying, pluggity plug. But this is beautiful. I mean, they're all beautiful. It's all a lead to gold scale. Where are you on that? And you're alchemizing it even further. The advocate, the action family archetype. My boys are starting to circle. I have 3 black cats. If you're not familiar, follow me on Instagram. It feels like there's a picture of my witch cats every day. The shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Now, in the 8th chakra, that can play itself out in a lot of nasty, toxic ways that I have seen. I don't want to call out any particular group or religion or thing, but the thing where you put the fear of the divine into people in order to get money. Right? It's a little bit different, but in terms of a calling or embracing a cause that is otherwise destructive. I have to take care of my kitty cats for a minute. Be right back. Can't say I'm sorry about that. They're so smart. I have 3 black cats, 3 boys. Sebastian, Balthazar, and Melchior in order from oldest to youngest. And the problem is that their water cube that filters the water for them so that they have like their clean fresh water was just about to hit the level point where it would make this sucking noise. So they were like, Mom, it's about to happen. They're so sweet. I love my boys. Right? And like, maybe you're an animal advocate, because at this point, once I hit the camera, once I start recording, like everything around me, including my own body, becomes part of the reading. So, you know, so maybe this is an animal advocacy for some of you. But, you know, throwing paint on people. Look, I met one of the head people at PETA, really cute guy, and I get it. But when it comes to embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain, you could see sometimes that personal gain is sabotaging people. So be careful, because the light attribute, I love advocates, inspires you to put compassion into action. Oh, hello, just lovely heart-opening feeling there, right? So, you know, speaking for those who have no voices. Lovely calling, but with that Saboteur and that Addict, tricky alchemy. So let's go deeper. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, we're going to look at now the heart, throat, third eye, and crown, your own interior world, or your yin aspect, the divine feminine part of you, however you want to say that. And of course, that will be really highlighting, because all three of these really are about the 8th chakra across the board. So they're all connected to your vocation. These would all really be connected to your heart, throat, third eye, crown. What's going on inside of you in each level? Please breathe. I call upon my goddesses of earth and the sign of Taurus, please. 3 cards in clarity for this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading for their work, career, vocation. July and August 2021. They've got the Addict in their work. What's that feeling like, I guess? Feeling like on the inside. Heart, throat, third eye, crown, and in their career, the heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic anyway, with the Saboteur in there, all about decisions of empowerment, but also, all right, I hear that, survival family archetypes, so about being able to just survive in their career. They might be in a rather addictive, and I'll say maybe even codependent situation in their work, right, where their dreams may be dying, but, you know, I have to be there, I have to stay there. But that can be healed, that can be moved on, particularly with that advocate in their calling. Right, calling them forth, putting compassion into action. What's that about? What's that about? Heart, third eye, crown for my Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Let's look. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Oh, Debbie Harry. Lovely. Compliments and condiments added to the rest. Interesting. The Addict with the 3 of Swords on the the 3 of Wands on the inner. Now I know waiting code word, but on this card it talks about loyalty. It talks about perhaps there's a heart, throat, third eye, crown here where you're kind of looking at where do your ultimate loyalties lie? What are you willing to wait for? This could be sticking it out in a toxic situation, confronting the addictive behavior. And remember, codependence isn't just about romance or family members. Oh, no. If someone is vampiric, for example, the codependency, just part of the vampire archetype, that draining of energy, right? Where they need people to source off of. Right, blood bags. Good old True Blood. I think I'm going to have to re-binge season 2. Marianne Forrester for all. In your career here, the withdrawal. The 8 of Cups, not just walking away from, but walking into yourself. Now, if this is about making a life-changing decision to eventually leave whatever you're doing in your work in the world in order to pursue your passion, your heart, third eye, crown, then you need to get inside and really start feeling out, how do I make the most wise, third eye, loving heart chakra, empowered decisions, choices, right? Because the Saboteur archetype, I mean, we make these choices all day long, but it's really, in this case, about the decision. Like you're going to cut something away, like incision, to move forward. But it's okay to take your time, wait it out, because right now it feels like, or at least for these 2 months, you're doing some more emotional, if not excavation, then exploration, a little heart, third eye, crown, spelunking going on. And the blue jay is right there, right use of royal power. So king or queen, take care of you. Get to Luca. We've here got, with the Advocate archetype, one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Three of Pentacles, a Ruru, clay woman, takes dirt, clay beneath her feet, sculpts it into something beautiful, practical, that will last maybe even beyond her lifetime. You got 2 threes here, so I'm liking that a lot inside. So, you know, you have some foundations here, but in terms of the advocacy of what you want to do, heart, third eye, crown part of it, you're still molding the clay. Good foundation, but still molding the clay. It has not been put in the kiln, K-I-L-N, the oven for pottery, I guess other things. What else do you put in a kiln than pottery? Please comment below if that's your gig or you even know, because, I mean, I can Google it, but I'll forget. Please, I go into such a fifth dimensional place when I read, if not higher. Think I remember it afterwards? Meh. Good thing it's recorded. Let's see what this looks like in the physical, right? Or at least the root, sacrum, solar plexus dynamic of this. Please take a nice deep breath. Right? Probably you from the outside looking in. Usually that's what it tends to be from the feedback that I've gotten, but it can also be from you looking at a physical situation from the inside out. Here we go. All right. I gotcha. My gods of earth and the sign of Taurus, please. 3 cards in clarity for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, with that Addict archetype in the 8th, and the 3 of Wands on the inner. What is this? What's going on? Root, sacrum, solar plexus. For their career, Saboteur in the 8th, 8 of Cups, withdrawal, going deep within on the inner. What's going on the outer? And for their vocation, the Advocate, Advocate archetype. I don't smell toast, it's fine. With the clay woman, hands in the clay, sculpting it, bringing it into something that will eventually come down into physical form. What does this look like on the outside, please, my beloved gods of earth and the sign of Taurus? There we go. I'll take that one. That one felt okay. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. You've got a double whammy of the 3 of Pentacles, right? The Addict with the 3 of Flames, 3 of Wands on the inside with the 3 of Pentacles. So, yeah, there is a solid foundation. Don't forget you take skills with you whether you walk away from this or not, right? You've learned stuff. It's just about how do you make this life-changing decision that doesn't shoot you in the foot. Particularly if you are committing to a cause in a way that resorts to violence. You see, you get what I'm feeling on that, but it doesn't have to be physical violence. It could be emotional violence, particularly if there are addictions in place here, your own or someone else's, and what are the chances it's both? Right, you could be addicted to money. Look, money, talk about a tricky addiction. To heal a money addiction, we need it, right? It's like, that's why, you know, people who may do drugs, alcohol, you know, sex addicts and all that, I get that. But what about being addicted to food, right? Like, you need food, right? Like that, or, you know what I mean? So that's tricky. But are you addicted to this work situation? Not so much as I really kind of get here, that your loyalty, particularly with 2 threes there, that you're out of place. You're at a place where you're like, I don't know if I need to do this anymore. Certainly there can be a desire to collaborate with others, right? With that 3 of Pentacles, I'll go with that. But with the double whammy, it's like you want to really be an advocate, and maybe this toxic situation is giving you everything that you need to see what needs to be healed, and therefore, you know, inspires you to put compassion into action. For yourself, I would think too, with this 6 of Cups, and I think you're going to dig this. Maybe. It depends on how you feel about this next card I'm about to show you, but, you know, you've got the Saboteur, Wile E. Coyote, right? Never gets the damn bird. Thank goodness. That would have been traumatizing. Not that the world wasn't enough at that point in my life when I was a child. But that withdrawal inside to really like reflect and go in and say, well, I can't, I don't, but I do. Like two different directions. With the Emperor, darling, this is you. I know the Empress is more associated with the fixed earth sign of Taurus for sure. But this is Zeus on top of the mountain. You may not be feeling that way. But this says to me that were you to step out and look at yourself in your career from the physical, from the horizontal plane, from the outside looking in, it's totally in your hands. This is Zeus with a bolt of lightning and one, well, actually a couple of bolts of lightning. What is that? 2 bolts of lightning. Never actually, no, 3. 3 bolts of lightning in one hand. And the world in the next, like where he's going to throw those at. This is all you. And I would say certainly a potential, if you can, right, highlights the fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Well, I feel like those changes are going to be fast. Bam. Lightning does not take its time in hitting its target, no matter how random it may appear to be. So that's very intense. So your ability to change this is pretty much instant, but it doesn't mean you have to rush into it. I think that's why that Eight of Cups is pulling you in. Pull in. Unplug from this addictive situation. You may not be able to leave it right now, but I feel like once you make that decision, it's going to fly. Because with the Advocate, with that molding of the clay, the 3 of Pentacles, clay woman on the inner, on the outer, Page of Wands. You're gathering information. Yeah, I know it's the spying card, maybe, but this could absolutely be doing online research. Research is a very overused word in this world. No, Googling something is not research. Research takes weeks, if not months, if not years, right? But maybe that's part of this, right? For in terms of your calling. Now, I am going to say, with this as well, there may be some immature communication, verbal communication, but remember, immature and childish are not the same thing. Infantile, not the same thing. It's a younger version of something that will grow, but may very well be inspiring you to put compassion into action. So it might be things that you are seeing online, right? Little headlines here and there that are really helping you put your compassion into action, but inside it's still taking form. And that's okay. And that's okay. Stuart Smalley. Let's do this. Last 3 cards down. We're not booking this because it will take forever. The Healing Mantra deck with Matt Kahn, but I think having got this deck in December 2019, I'm familiar with the vibes. Please breathe. Yeah, my Ascended Masters of life purpose through the 3 levels of power, work, career, and vocation, please. What are the 3 perfect healing mantras for this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, watching this video, receiving this reading so that they can bring these chakras into alignment, right? Very holographic, this spread to begin with, right? So that it all becomes one movement of energy eventually. That is certainly a journey and certainly fulfilling here, but it feels like their point of power is really in the career right now, right? The Saboteur, go within and really feel it out to do maybe the healing that needs to be done there to recover a bit, right? Because the next would be the 9 of Cups. They could find that 9th cup in that cave. And with that Emperor, they really get that all the cards are in their hands, really, and they're way more balanced than they realize. All kings in the Emperor. So please, work, career, vocation, their perfect healing mantra for their work. Is that one card? Yes, it is. For their career, psychometry at its best on camera, and in their vocation, July, August 2021. Oh, they're all pink. That's nice. Encountering conflict in work. I get that with the Addict, sure. Resolving anger in your career, which may absolutely be not just connected to work, but stuff that you've carried from work situations past. And in your vocation, amplifying abundance. You're going to love these, all right? So you're encountering conflict in your work, resolving anger in your career, and amplifying abundance in your vocation. I don't choose sides. I take a stand in countering conflict, which means really that in the physical world, you don't have to necessarily agree. You don't necessarily have to get on the same page with somebody to give them the love of just hearing them out. Now, that is absolutely going to stir some stuff, some anger up inside of you. Conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself. Much. Oh my goodness. So on the nosy nose on that one. And for the advocate here in your vocation, right? Amplifying abundance. Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. Now, let me go back to this one. Look, with the Saboteur, right, you have a decision to make. You're going within, taking space for yourself, but also that there is a way of using your creativity to express that in a healthy way. Remember, very third chakra here. So, you know, whether it's writing or primal scream, I mean, I sweat my prayers, I dance every day, or do yoga or something, earth sign. I have to do that to relieve stress in my body. That just comes from day-to-day life at 52 years old. Yes, I know I don't look at the cue. I have a client that loves that, so I'm doing it just for her. It's all for you. I won't say her name. But with this amplifying abundance, right? Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. I did a bunch of live streams during the Pandemic Pay last year where we came up with a little tune. It is, interestingly enough, a Looney Tune, right? Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. It's in your head, good. With that advocacy, if you can really get this one in alignment and this one in alignment, I feel like this one will take its time because this one is all about, it's a contractual agreement with the divine. You will get everything that you need because it's your birthright in exchange for letting your light shine at full capacity, your truth. So that is still in the forming, but you put these three mantras together. Ready? I don't choose sides. I take a stand, and conflict reminds me when I need more space for myself because abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. You get it? If not, let's put it together for you in a little bit of a blessing. I just need to get these in the appropriate order because I am a Virgo. I am. I wouldn't trade it for anything, especially not an air sign. Please take a nice deep breath. This is lovely. Tricky, but lovely. My pantheons of the divine, please. May the Taurus collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, July and August 2021, that they may be inspired to put their compassion into action, highlighting their fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to their life, while helping them recognize and confront addictive behavior while their vocation is being sculpted in their interior world, their career reflecting, going in, finding that ninth cup deeper within that cave and biding their time, being loyal to themselves, managing their boundaries, keeping their own internal flames alive until they're ready to pull the trigger here because they are gathering the information that they need and it's coming to them on the outer for this advocacy, and they really are the emperor of their career. They may not notice it yet, but it feels like as they go deeper in and higher up, that they will find that ninth cup to really discover that their emotional fulfillment really is here so that they can make the most wise, loving, empowering decision. While in their work, yes, they are dealing with other people and collaborators, but they have gathered certain skills that is absolutely essential to ground this vocation and their career into their survival level of power, so that in their vocation they amplify abundance, abundance being their birthright, so they can claim it now, and in their career resolving anger, conflict, reminding them when they need more space for themselves, and certainly in their work that they are encountering conflict, but they don't need to choose sides to take the stand, that they can be there as advocate, making wise, clear, loving, empowered decisions, even if it's to take space and back up and make some popcorn in their work, career, vocation, preparing them to be what the world needs so much right now, people who are healthy and in alignment, in process, bringing their compassion into action. So may they be so blessed, because we need them to do so. Their values to rise to the surface in a clean, healthy way that empowers rather than disempowers anyone involved, for their well-being, for the well-being of everyone they're dealing with, and for the well-being of all life on planet Earth, Mother Earth that they are. So mote it be. And so it is. It's lovely. Tricky, but lovely. If I had more room in the title, right? You'll get a certain number. I would write paragraphs in the title, and that's what the description boxes are for. But by all means, if you want to book me, the deets are down there. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can try me at DrawingTheCircle@gmail.com, but the spam game is a nightmare on Gmail, for me at least. So it takes me a while to sort through those and find out who's the actual client and who's just spamming me. But certainly my book, Words of Grace, $9.99 on Kindle. You can preview it with the Kindle app if you don't have Kindle. I dedicated it to my mom, and I can't wait to see her. I'm calling her today to put the pieces together, getting someone to house it and cat sit while I am away. Oh, I'm so excited. And I'm very, very, very excited for you as well here, because that, your point of power is definitely center lane, but your career, but don't skimp on the higher calling stuff here. So if you liked it, like it, want more, subscribe. Because I did not go anywhere, but apparently. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation, my beloved bulls. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.